Guys, got a special video. Like, none of them are normal. Every day is a special day in Jimbo land, and today I have my very first bark River knives. Sorry, I'm a little flustered right now. I just kind of got straight back in the house, kind of still breathing heavy. Been out for a little bit, out on a run with the dog, and just got back in, had a package waiting for me, and it's a big one. So I got that small Chris Reeve, and honestly, I just knew for a fact it wasn't for me. And I already have the big one. I'm gonna leave it at that, right? That's just what I wanted to do. Well, what do we have here? I'm gonna spin it around for you guys. What do we have here today? So, on Facebook, every knife company has their own, great member group or whatever. Bark Rivers is pretty active. There are a lot of people posting in there looking to trade, sell random knives, Bark Rivers for Bark Rivers, money, cash for Bark Rivers, whatever. And I saw a duo on there, and you'll notice that this box has some markings here. We'll talk about that in a sec. So, what I ended up trading my Chris Reeve small 21 in Singo micarta inlay for was two knives. I ended up trading for a Bark River Canadian Camp 2, which you can see the box right here. Has a little bit of, I don't know, those splotches. What are those all about? Well, the guy who I traded it to is part of our deal. And now, this wasn't even just a guy, this was a kid. This is a kid, 15 years old, this kid named Charlie, on there trading, buying, selling knives like I am right now. Oh, dude, what? So, yeah, before I can continue talking, let's just talk about the knives real quick. It's a Canadian and a mini Canadian, a Canadian Camp 2 and a mini Canadian. Look at these guys. Now, unlike most other Bark River knives, these have some very, very clear finger grooves in their handles. I'm kind of in love with the micarta handles that he chose for his. The classic Mike Stewart black canvas micarta looks great on this mini. This is going to be, and this is just awesome. This is, and you can see, like he talks about, this knife, it can be held back here, but what it's really supposed to be held here in this first choil, and that feels amazing for just the most delicate, precise jobs. I should be more prepared with test cutting paper here. Let's see how sharp it is out of the box here. That's cut. Boom. So, it's kind of a little razor blade right there. It's awesome, dude. This is such a cool little EDC. And now, let's get back to those splotches, right? So, I bought these knives and I said, hey, dude, price isn't exactly right here. You're going to have to give me some extra cash on top. And well, this kid's 15 years old. And I remember being 15 years old myself. I remember what it was like. I remember being 13 years old. I remember being 14 years old and asking my mom for 20 bucks, so I could go out and buy some pizza and get a Slurpee. And then I remember being 15 years old and getting my first job, the legal age to start working in New Jersey. And I remember, working every summer and then getting a job at the Mexican restaurant be able to buy my Dunkin' Donuts coffee culottes and stuff, you know, just be able to pay for all my crap without asking mom for money. So, you know, this kid, obviously, he was kind of negotiating with me, saying, you know, oh, I can only give you this amount of money and all this. But you know what we settled on instead? I asked him to do me a favor, and because he's got some skills, he's a handy kid. He went ahead and he wet form fit both of these sheets. These are the Bark River beautiful sheets, and they're much lighter brown when they originally come. But what he did was wet form fit and water treated both of these with I think he used Fibings. Yeah, this same company for I use Fibing stuff for some other leatherworking projects, but I know it's very good, high quality stuff. It's basically the best of the best, industry standard stuff that you want, and I decided to let him make up the extra difference in the value between these two knives and the Sebenza with good old hard work. What's 20, 30, 40 bucks to me in cash, right? I've been really lucky. I've been making some good deals lately. I've profited that extra. I have a little bit of extra cash to be able to make purchases and resell things and be able to make an extra 20 bucks. But this kid's just starting out in the knife world. He's just starting to collecting. Everybody wants to own their first Chris Reeve. It's like, that's, for knife collectors, that's a thing. If you're into knives, you want a Chris Reeve Sebenza. So to be able to put that in his hands, and he's obviously been making trades, working his way up in value for these knives. Now, I will say, I wish both these blades came a little cleaner, Charlie, but that's okay. It's obviously not stained. It's just no. This is just natural from the packaging. It's now that I actually wipe it down with my finger here. It's perfect. It's perfect. Edges are in perfect shape. Tips are in perfect shape. I really, now that I'm finally getting my hands on this Bark River, watching Apostle P, his details to knives and the way he talks about things and sharpens and all that kind of stuff, you start to appreciate the finer details of a knife, such as this plunge grind ending way back here inside of the choil, so that once the cutting edge starts, there's not a whole hunk of metal back there. It is the exact same width as the tip, as the belly, as the very, very back, because the plunge grind ends all the way back here. I mean, the thing is almost 90 degrees. Same deal here with the Canadian Camp 2. You see this little sharpening trail right here. Plunge grind ends smack dab in the middle of it. That's how you make a knife. Mark Stewart understands what that is for. Now, this Canadian Camp 2 is just fucking beautiful. I'm so glad that I decided to make this trade. Charlie, you took good care of these knives. Thank you for the great job on the sheets. I have the feeling that I'm just gonna end up keeping these. I don't really feel like, I want these to become part of my camping rotation. I want to enjoy these and really see what Bark River can do out in the field. These, at least for a season or two, I'm gonna keep these and put them through their paces. I'm gonna wear and enjoy the sheaths. I'm gonna, always hopefully have these to enjoy. Which way does this go back in here? Yeah, wow. He did a great job. Look at that. It's not going nowhere. I'm shaking this pretty hard. That's a form-fit sheath. Done right. Let's test out the little guy. If I can figure out how it's supposed to go in. Belly this way, right. Okay. Boom. Oh, and I can just feel it's not going anywhere. And now this little guy can also, it can be worn as a neck knife with these two holes here. It could be worn horizontally with these three. It could be, it has a belt loop back here. So it's basically, you know, I can't think of a better little, this is the smallest, coolest little EDC knife you could ask for. So, very happy. Bark River, Canadian Camp 2, Bark River, Mini Canadian. Jimbo out. Thanks again, Charlie. Thanks, Bark River Facebook group. Peace.